Hi everyone, so this is just my final video on my flower model for my work placement module. So the final few weeks have been really effective in helping me develop as a coach, and I now feel confident in that the flower model fully represents me as a coach and the way I feel. I have also gained some feedback from other coaches, as personally I find feedback, both positive and negative, really effective for me, and it has filled me with a lot of confidence as well, because the majority of the feedback they gave me was positive. However, they did give me some constructive criticism, and I think that's really important and valuable as a coach, because it gives me aims and objectives to work on in the future. And I think coaches forget that it's important that coaches develop and improve along the way, as well as athletes. So as you can see from the last video, down the right hand side of the flower, it was predominantly petals that had been coloured in but without any qualities on them, whereas now all petals have been coloured in with all qualities on them, and I've reached my objective of filling the flower with qualities and skills that I wanted to improve on during my placement. So the final few qualities that I've been working on, the first one's phronesis. So I think it's really overlooked, this quality, and I think a lot of sport coaches have never heard of it before, me being one of the sport coaches a few weeks ago. However, after some extensive research and and talking to other coaches about this, I now understand the importance of it and how it works. So phronesis is basically the thought process before you make a decision. So for example, if you walk into a training session and you don't have access to the resources and equipment you thought you would, it's that thought process of how you then think of what you're going to do in the session. So how are you going to make the session still effective, and what are you going to do to sort of carry out the session in the way that you want to do. And then decision making is closely linked with it, and decision making is actually making the decision of what you're going to do. So I've really developed that quality, and I think it's a really important one to have. The second one's consistency. So coaches really need to be consistent with their training sessions, and after getting advice from the coaches within the organisation, they said that the best way they found to keep their consistency is to plan out the sessions on a monthly basis with some flexibility, as obviously sometimes things don't go to plan, but it just means that they are consistent in what they are presenting to the athlete. So they're not doing fitness too many times within a week, or they're not doing too many strength and conditioning sessions within a week, and they're planning out all the sessions, which I think is a really effective way, and I'll carry on with that in my coaching practice. The third quality is commitment. So this is really required as a coach, and it's a really, really important quality, I feel, because obviously, as previously stated, coaches get given a lot of responsibilities as a coach, and in order to fulfil those responsibilities, it can be quite stressful, and if you aren't committed, then it'll become a chore, when coaching should really be done for fun. And especially as the majority of coaches out there are volunteers, sometimes it can become too much and can cause stress, coach burnout, anxiety, depression. So I think it's really important that sport coaches are committed. And the final quality I've been working on is analysis. So again, I think coaches forget that performance analysis especially can also be used on coaches as well as athletes, and it's important that coaches improve their performance as well as their athletes to ensure that they are coaching to the best of their ability. So I think the flower represents me perfectly as a coach, and I feel like I have actually blossomed like a flower throughout this module, and working within my Sky Netball Club's really helped me to develop as a coach. And I just think all these qualities that I've worked on over the past few months have really, really taught me so many things. I am now also confident that I could go into an organisation and confidently coach on my own and take on all the responsibilities that a sport coach would do, which is something I didn't think I could do before my placement. Furthermore, the advice and observation of the coaches within the organisation really helped me, as they've experienced a lot more things than I have. So talking to people with experience is really important as well. And again, the difficult situations that I've had to face during my placement have again helped me so much, because I think the best way to learn is by experiencing things and tackling things head on.